let's start the introduction of our next battle, battle number 5. You see, it is the Shaded Sunsets and the Raichu Raiders. But before we go into this, I just want to uh, reiterate again, that the Helping Hands Charity League is a league that is trying to raise awareness, positivity, and money, of course, to many different charities. So please feel free to either donate to our league or just a charity that you believe in. Um, and yeah, happiness, positivity, um, through some scary Pokemon battles. Um, but let's introduce our very first team of battle number 5. We see the Shaded Sunsets, led by Phoenix, playing for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, currently 8th place at 4-4. A team that has had its ups and downs, but has been pretty consistent. Just really consistent. Like might not have been got like might oh my gosh. The wins they've had have been very decisive wins. This is a team that likes to get in there, do their damage, have these fast, hard, strong battles, and either win them or lose them, which they've been doing both of. We see the OU Pokemon of this team with the Slowking at 0-4, and the Komodo at 7-3. That Komodo being just uh, really strong Pokemon here. I agree. The UU Pokemon of this team being the Orthworm at 2-3, and the Quackable at 7-3. It did have 160 sweep, but it has not been able to replicate that since. The RU Pokemon, we see the Dragalge has been brought, but I don't think it was used. I could be wrong. The Arcanine is at 0-2, and the Caparaja, the Elephant Chicken, the famous Elephant Chicken, has not shown his face yet, which I'm really surprised about. The NU Pokemon on this team, we see the Minior, which is another Pokemon that has had a 6-0 sweep on this team, the Dunsparce, who has not been brought yet, and the Whiscash, which is at 2-3. I'm kind of surprised the Dunsparce hasn't been brought, because it actually, if you can get it set up, that's actually a really good Pokemon, but we shall see. The PU Pokemon of this team, we have the Glaceon at 0-1, the Dachsbun at 3-2, the Trevenant at 4-3, and the Stantler at 2-4. If you can see the spread of knockouts, only about half of these Pokemon have knockouts, but the ones who do, for the most part, do have a positive knockout to faint ratio. Of course, the Slowking does not, but the Slowking's not meant to have knockouts. The Slowking is meant to set up basically, at least from what we've seen from this team, the Slowking has been meant to just set up for the other Pokemon to be successful. Yeah, let's introduce their opponent for the week. We see the Raichu Raiders, led by Hazel, playing for P-Flag, currently 9th place, another 4-4 team. So one of these teams, this is an 8-9th place battle right now. One of these teams will go up, one of these teams will go down. The OU Pokemon of this team, before I introduce Pokemon, I do want to say that I've been really happy to see that this team has been finally changing up their strategy, and it has been working. Well, again, it's been up and down, just like the Shaded Sunsets. Has had some good battles, has had some not great battles, but I'm really glad to see a bigger spread of Pokemon being used from this team. The OU Pokemon of this team being the Azumarill at 3-2, and the Breloom at 10-4. Another one of those Pokemon who are in the 10+ KO clubs. Go Breloom, even though that thing is scary. The UU Pokemon of this team, we see the Diggersby at 0-1, and the Staraptor at 3-1. Staraptor's being just a really good Pokemon that I think is kind of underrated. Not many people know how good it is, or I could be wrong. But I think it's a great Pokemon that should be praised more. The RU Pokemon of this team, you see the Goodra at 3-4, the Emboar at 3-5, and the Crocodile at 1-5. These Pokemon have not made an appearance in a couple weeks ever since this team has changed up their strategy. But don't count those Pokemon out. They're just taking a little nap on the bench for now, but they will be back, I'm sure of it. Really strong Pokemon there. The Enumons, We see the Appleton at 1 and 5. The Bayleaf has not been brought yet, and the Vanillix at 0 and 2. I do really hope to see that Bayleaf at some point. I'm really curious to see how this team will run that middle evolution. Like, yeah, it might be a middle evolution, but if you put an Eviolite on it, it's great. So I'm really curious to see if this team will run that Bayleaf at some point. The PU Pokemon of this team, you see the Cinccino at 3 and 2. Lilligant and Doublade each haven't been brought yet, even though Lilligant is a newly traded Pokemon. I think it was traded a couple weeks ago, so it has not had its chance to show up yet. But we see the namesake Pokemon of this team, the Raichu at 4 and 7. Both of these teams just really consistent, has a good spread of knockouts for all their Pokemon. And again, like I said, one of these teams will be breaking. Both of these teams will be breaking their even record, but one will be up and one will be down. We will see what happens. Let's introduce the starting lineups of these two teams here. We see the Shaded Sunsets with the Minior coming back. We haven't seen the Minior in a couple of weeks. Also, the power combo of Slowking and Komodo making its return appearance again. We also see Whiscash coming back, the Quacklevolt, and the Earthworm all coming back here. From the Raichu Raiders, we do see the Raichu. Pretty sure Raichu is showing up every week too, so really good to see that Raichu coming back. We do see a Azumarill, Staraptor, Vanillix, the little ice cream man. I love him. You see the Cinccino and the Breloom as well. Breloom coming back after a couple weeks on the bench, looking for revenge. It's thirsty. It wants I don't know. It wants to smack things. Let's get into this battle. Battle number 5 in week number 9. Let's begin. The Shaded Sunsets leading with the Minior, the Cosmic Sunset, with the Raichu Raiders leading with that Breloom. The Shieldon, of course, being immediately set up by the Breloom, Anyway, Breloom going for a hidden power, a super effective hidden power hit, but the acrobatics is just going to be too strong. A quad effective acrobatics here, able to take down the Breloom in just one hit. Vanillix, though, being set up, or coming out, with a Freeze Dry, smacking the Minior right back. Each team down one Pokemon on only the second turn. Quacklevolt does come out, though, to replace it with Vanillix, switching out into the Staraptor. With a close combat, nearly taking down the Staraptor, but it doesn't do it. Which one will have speed, though? Who will be faster? The Brave Bird from the Staraptor will be faster, but it will knock itself out in the process. Turn 4, and 2 Pokemon are knocked out from each team. Raichu comes out, with the Slowking coming out from the Shaded Sunset. A Volt Tackle doing so much damage to this man, but not enough. Light Screen being set up from the Slowking. And the immediate switch into the Earthworm to eat another Volt Tackle here. The snow being ended. The switch from the Raichu into the Cinccino here, with an Iron Defense being set up by the Earthworm. This Earthworm is actually looking pretty strong here with all of the physical attackers of the Raichu Raiders team. U-turn going into the Vanillix, though, with a Body Press just deleting the ice cream. That worm just wanted to eat some ice cream for breakfast or something like that. That just deleted it. Azumarill being sent out to replace the ice cream. The knockoff, though, is gonna knock off the leftovers, but the Iron Head is gonna do a little bit of chip damage to this Azumarill. The Play Rough being set up, only doing 8% damage, though, with an Iron Defense being set up by the Earthworm to go to 3 times defense. The Play Rough coming through and missing, with another Iron Defense being set up by the Worm. This Worm is in a really good position here. The Belly Drum being set up from the Azumarill, though. Will it be enough to survive? It is not. The Body Press with the boosted defense just being too much for the Azumarill and taking it out. The Cinccino comes out, though. And the Tail Slap only doing 1%. Only doing 5 total percent to this Earthworm, with the Body Press coming out and smacking this Cinccino, just squishing it out of existence. Just the Raichu left. The Grass Knot doing some good chip damage, but it is not enough. The Earthquake coming through, and the Worm getting some good knockouts finally. A really good showing for the Raichu Raiders, though, but just unfortunately too many physical attackers that couldn't get past the Worm here.